Hi guys, so ayan, taas natin ang volume ng konti para medyo energetic tayo. Wow! So, good afternoon sa ating lahat. Good morning, good evening, kung anong oras mo man ito pinapanood. No, welcome po. Welcome back sa Study Chunks with Sir Fercie, and I am Sir Fercie. Ayan, at para sa subject nating oral communication in context po, magkakaroon na tayo ng panibagong sets of lessons para po sa ating subquarter B period. Ayan. So I hope na nakapagpahinga tayo after last week, last day of submission was on Friday. At talagang in-expect ko, I hope na lahat po ay nakapagpasa ng ating mga requirements ng ating written work, pati ng ating performance task. Ayan. So thank you so much po for your compliance. I appreciate you all. And today po magkakaroon tayo ng panibagong installment ng ating lesson. Ayan, para sa ating subject. But before that, let's have this prayer. Pray muna tayo. Okay, let's open this class with a prayer. Close your eyes, let us pray. Lord of light and wisdom, grant us bright intellect, a sound judgment and retentive memory. Help us to study patiently, orderly, and diligently, to develop our gifts and make good use of them according to your will, as we commit ourselves in veritas et fortitudo, prodeo et patria. Amen. Amen. Ayan. Amen tayo dyan. Ayan. So, kamusta po ang lahat? Ayan. Kamusta po kayo? HEP 113, STEM 119, and STEM 1110. I hope you are well today. I hope this video finds you well. Sana hindi pa rin tayo, sana safe pa din and healthy pa din ang bawat isa. And now, napakabilis napakabilis. Natapos na agad ang September, natapos na agad ang subquarter A natin, and nandito na tayo sa last subquarter for first quarter period. After this subquarter, quarterly exam naman tayo, tapos second quarter, second quarter, tapos na ang ating semester, Napakabilis po. I so appreciate everybody, na talagang nagstay kayo, ay naglo-look forward pa rin kayo hopefully sa ating mga lessons. Ayan, sana tandaan niyo pa ako si Sir Fercie. It's been a while since last tayo nag-post ng study chunk videos natin. Okay, so I guess proceed na tayo ng ating lesson. Ayan, so for our subquarter B po, meron tayong panibagong lesson. We will consider this as lesson number 2. Okay, para hindi tayo maguluhan. Okay, pero nakalagay po sa module niyo ay lesson number 1. So yun nga po, hindi po kasi ako ang gumagawa ng ating module. Ayan, kasi ito po ay collaboration na ng lahat ng teachers. So ang na-assign po for this subquarter ay ibang teacher. Ayan, so pero dito sa atin, consider natin ito as lesson number 2 kasi technically naman lesson number 2 talaga sila. Ay, lesson number 2 talaga siya. Okay? So proceed na tayo sa ating lesson. We were going to discuss po the different types of speech context. In this lesson po, we will discuss the various ways and situations in which people communicate. Okay, in which people communicate. Okay, so hinala natin ang ating sound. And this focuses on how communicators change their style of speaking depending on the context. Okay, so dito alamin natin kung paano nag-iiba-iba yung form, yung mood, yung approach, yung construction ng bawat statement, ng bawat tao, depende sa situation, depende sa kausap nila, This lesson session po is equivalent to 1 week regular class meeting. Okay, so proceed na tayo for our learning objectives. At the end of this lesson po, you will be able to differentiate the types of speech context and identify the speech context of various speaking situations. Okay, for our key terms, we have intrapersonal, interpersonal, mass communication, small group, dyad, and public communication. Okay, so magkaroon tayo ng short review bago tayo magpatuloy. Okay, our previous lessons po, we discussed, sana natatandaan nyo pa, the different elements, ilan yan? Meron ata tayong siyam na elements, Siyam o 8? 8 ata ang nakalagay dito. Pero I believe siyam ata yun. Ayan. So we have the speaker, the message, the channel, the encoding or the encoder, receiver, the decoding or the decoder, the context, the feedback. Tapos yung pang siyam ata is noise. So those are the elements of communication. Functions of communication, we have the control for or regulation, social interaction, motivation, emotional expression, yan. And lastly, communication barriers natin. Meron tayong emotional barriers, the use of jargons, lack of confidence, noisy environment, okay, and among others, meron pa tayong mga features, okay, and etc. etc. Okay, so now let's proceed dito sa speech styles natin. So in the previous lesson po, we learned the different functions of communication. Okay, the barriers that hinders the process of communication, the elements of communication and how to effectively engage in verbal and non-verbal communication. Okay? So, meron tayong mga non-verbal communication, di ba? Para ma-reinforce, no? Para mas maging malinaw yung pag-convey ng message natin sa ating receiver. This time po, no, we will be focusing on the types of speech context. Okay? Sabihin mo nga speech context. Okay? Speech context. Ayan. So, speech context po, it refers to the situation or environment and the circumstances in which the communication occurs. Napakadaming factors, no? It refers to the situation, no? Na hindi lang dapat pala tayo basta-basta nag-e-express ng ating mga statements, no? Actually, napaka-sensitive natin sa mga ganitong bagay, no? Sa environment natin. Hindi tayo basta-basta nagsasalita. Hindi tayo basta-basta nag-a-approach, no? Talagang dinedepende natin sa environment, sa mga taong makakausap natin. That is speech context, no? Yung mga speech natin, no, yung mga messages na gusto nating i-convey, no, sa isang group of people or sa isang tao. Okay, nakadepende yan sa isang sitwasyon, sa environment, sa mga circumstances, no? Meron ba kayong history ng pag-aaway? Kamusta ba ang relationship niyo sa isa't isa, no? Sino ba ang senior, sino ba ang junior, something like that. Okay, that is a speech context. So now we have the different types of speech context. Number 1, the intrapersonal communication. Okay, the intrapersonal communication part refers to communication that centers in one person, where the speaker acts both as the sender and receiver of the message. Okay, so example natin, you spent the night thinking about how you can lose weight even without cutting your meals. You suddenly felt sadapan realizing that your acne gone worse. So, mga something like that, no? Kapag kayo ay nakaharap sa salamin, tapos napansin nyo, may tagiyawat na naman ako, payat-payat ko. Actually, ganyan yung ginagawa ko before, no? And kapag din ako ay medyo stress, no? Talagang ayoko na may kausap muna, gusto ko muna ng alone time with myself. Ayan, madalas po ay kinakausap ko yung sarili ko. That is intrapersonal communication. At hindi nakakabaliw yun, ha? Actually, healthy yun sa mental health natin, no? Na kahit pa paano, no, if you wanted to have this solitary time, no, with yourself, talk to yourself, no? Kausapin mo ano ba yung problema, ano ba yung nangyayari sa iyo recently, no? Pray, 'di ba? Through prayers. Ayan, so yun, yung mga quality time na yun na kinakausap mo yung sarili mo, yung mga pagkakataon na gano'n, that is intrapersonal communication. Okay? So, yung madalas din, kayo ba? Kamusta kayo? Meron ba mga pagkakataon na nakikipag-usap kayo sa sarili nyo, no? Recently? Ayan, ano yung mga pagkakataon na yun? Tungkol saan? Yung mga sinasabi mo sa sarili mo? Share mo naman yan. Diba? So, kasi totoo to no? Meron talagang intrapersonal communication na kahit papaano, no? Gusto natin na hindi dapat mawala pa rin itong communication. Kahit na wala tayong kasama sa bahay natin, no? We decide or we end up talking to ourselves, no? Kasi napakahirap po pag hindi tayo nakikipag-communicate. Yes, kasi nasanay na tayo We are social beings. No, naging part na ng buhay natin, isa sa mga needs natin ang makipag-socialize sa ibang tao at sa ating mga sarili. No, that's possible. That is intrapersonal communication, no? Communication within oneself. Okay? The person, no, the individual serves or function as the speaker and the sender at the same time. That is intrapersonal communication. Second one, we have the interpersonal communication. This refers to communication between how many? Two. And among people and establishes personal relationship between them. So we have two types of interpersonal communication, the dyad and the small group communication. Okay? So the dyad communication po, ito yung type of interpersonal communication that occurs between two persons only. Okay, dalawang tao po ang nag-i-interact, ang nakikipag-usap. Okay, so dito sa illustration natin, kung hindi ako nagkakamali, ayan. Ang nag-uusap dito ay yung applicant pati yung employer. Okay, so this is an example. Ito, ganito yung setup po ng ating interpersonal communication. Ako bilang teacher, kung meron kayong mga private message sa akin, that is a form of interpersonal communication but it is not face-to-face. Okay, but still, it is a form of interpersonal communication under ng dyad communication. From the word die, diba, yung prefix na die, it means two. Die or by, diba? To yun, two. Okay? So, dyad communication between how many people? Two. Okay, gets tayo doon ha. Ano uli pag sinabing intrapersonal? Between how many? Two ba? 3, 4, 5, ilan? 1. Okay, one lamang po ang interpersonal communication. It is within oneself. Okay? So next natin, second type of interpersonal communication, we have the small group, no? Small group communication. This refers to communication that involves how many? At least 3. Okay, at least 3 but not more than 10. So 3 to 9 or 3 to 10, no? 3 to 10 people engaging in a face-to-face conversation. Okay, it's very important po na kailangan nating tandaan, small group communication po occurs in a physical setup talaga. Talagang face-to-face. No, immersion talaga, ganyan. So, you are having a discussion with your group mates on how to finish the assigned task. That is an example. No, yung mga group works nyo sa school, yung kapag nagpapa-activity si teacher, no, sayang na lang ngayon at hindi natin magagawa itong mga small group nating mga interaction with your classmates, no, with everybody else, ganyan, mga ka-group mates mo. Meron ba kayong mga grouping sa ibang subject? Meron ba kayong mga activities na group work, no? No, kung tayo ay nasa school, magkakaroon tayo ng small group communication. Pero since tayo ay nasa ating mga bahay, no, hindi siya face-to-face, yes, in the sense, yung quantity niya, papasok siya sa small group. Pero ito ay papasok na doon sa iba nating type of communication. Ibang type of speech context. Okay? So, yun po ang ating small group communication. Ano pa bang example noon? Aside from group works. For example, mga focus group discussion. Ayan. So, pag mga small interview lang, tapos medyo mga 4 to 5 lang na interviewees, yan, small group discussion yan, or small group communication. What else? Within family, di ba? Within family, pag hindi naman kayo lumagpas ng 10 sa bahay nyo, we can consider that a small group communication. Okay? So, ganun po yun, no? Small group communication, how many? 1 lang ba? 2? 3? Yes, 3. Okay, 3 to 10, sorry. Corny ko, no? 3 to 10 people yung involved doon sa communication. Number 3 natin. Okay? So, tapos na tayo, no? Tapos na tayo sa types of interpersonal communication. Pag sinabing interpersonal, in general, no? It occurs to 2 to 10, no? 2 to 10 people who are involved in that communication, in that interaction. Okay? So, after ng intrapersonal, within oneself, interpersonal, within 2 or to 10 people, no? Public communication number 3 naman refers to the communication that requires you to send a message in front of a group. Okay? The message can be driven by informational or persuasive purposes. Example, you are delivering a graduation speech. Ayan. So, ganito naman po, no? In terms of quantity, mas madami ito. Talagang event setup ito. Ano? Ito yung sa graduation, mga seminar, mga lectures, mga workshop, ano pa ba? Ayan, classroom setup, no? Ako bilang speaker, tas kayo yung mga listeners ko. That is public communication. Okay, may isang speaker ng may isang centered information, tapos marami ang listeners. Okay, so more than 10 ito, no? Marami na ito, itong public communication. Ayan, so yun po ang ating public communication. So number 4 naman tayo, okay? So ano uli yung first 3 natin? We have the intrapersonal. Second one, we have the interpersonal. Number 3 is public communication. Ano na yung dalawang kinds ng interpersonal? We have the letter D. The dyad. Diba? Dyad communication and small group communication. Okay, pag dyad, how many? 2. Diba? 2. Pag sinabi natin small group communication, how many? 2 to, ay 3 to 10. Pero in general, interpersonal, 2 to 10. Okay po. Pag sinabi naman natin public, we can say na pwede na tayong mag-anticipate na ito ay more than 10. 11, no? 11 and more na people yung involved doon sa ating communication process. And lastly po, no, number 4, this is where I'm ending. Okay? Mass communication. Okay? Number 4 natin, after ng public communication, we have mass communication. Sabihin mo, mass communication. Okay, mass communication, this refers to communication po that takes place through the television, radio, newspapers, magazines, books, billboards, internet, and other types of media. Other term for mass communication is mediated communication. Ibig sabihin po, past tense no, mediated communication, gumagamit tayo dito ng mga channels, ng mga platforms, no, ng mga media tools such as television, no? Meron tayong 3 types of media, eh. Diba? Mass media, we have the print media, newspaper, magazines, brochures, pamphlets, okay, ano pa, flyers, di ba, mga textbooks, ayan, yan ang print media natin. Broadcast media, we have the television, we have the radio, ayan, and lastly, we have the new or online media, we have the internet and other digital platforms. So, pag sinabi po nating mass communication, this is the communication that occurs to people, no, either ano ka man lang, either interpersonal man ito or public communication, no, na gumagamit ng isang platform. And this is very relevant, no, mas nagagamit natin ito today dito sa ating setup, no, sa LPU, sa ating mga classes, no, gumagamit tayo ng my LPU, ng internet, ng digital media, okay, para may convey ko yung mga lessons, may send ko yung message ko sa inyo, and vice versa. Okay, para kayo may isa niyo yung concern niyo sa akin, you use your phones or devices, no, you use the internet, the MyLPU or the Messenger app, okay, or the MS Office, no, Outlook app, ganyan. Those are the forms of media, no, na ginagamit natin para sa communication natin. Kapag meron na pong intervention ng technology, pag meron ng intervention ng ating mga media platforms na yan, yung tatlo, print, broadcast, and view or online, hindi na, ang tawag na dyan ay mass communication. Okay po? So ako po, no, ang course ko ay mass communication major in journalism. Kaya siya tinawag ng mass communication kasi kaming mga journalists ay hindi nakikipag-usap sa mga tao gamit ang sarili naming bibig. Gumagamit po kami ng mga networks, no? Gumagamit kami ng television, ng camera, ng newspaper, no? Piniprint namin yan bago kayo ma-reach out ng mga audiences namin. That's why it's called mass communication. Okay po? So, usually, no, mostly, kaya din siya tinawag na mass communication at kaya tayo gumagamit ng mga platforms na ito ay dahil ang target audiences natin ay hindi na isang buong classroom lang, no, hindi lang isang buong event setup lang, mas madami ito. Okay? Ang tendency dito, buong mundo, no, buong mundo yung gusto nating i-reach out, buong bansa, buong probinsya, kaya gumagamit tayo ng mga tools na ito, no, para mas maging efficient sa atin yung information dissemination. And that is very true. No, with this video na ginagamit ko, no, kaya kong i-send ito doon sa iba ko pang mga sections. Ayan, i-handle ko pa with this subject, no, in oral communication. Okay, na hindi ko na kailangan magbahay-bahay pa, hindi ko na sila kailangan pang tawagan pa isa-isa, ganyan. Okay, so with the use of mass media tools talaga, mas nagiging madali na rin yung pag-convey ng information, ng message dun sa yung target audiences. Okay, so I hope you know now the differences, no, of speech context na meron tayo. We have 4. The intrapersonal, communication within oneself. The interpersonal, communication between how many people? 2. Okay, we have the different kinds, no, of interpersonal. 2 to 10, di ba? Yung 2, yun yung dyad. Okay? Yung small group, yun yung 3 to 10. Pag sinabi naman natin public communication, we can anticipate that this communication between 11 and more people. Okay? And pag sinabi naman natin mass communication, ito na yung may intervention ng mass media tools such as television, cellphones, yan, digital devices mo, newspapers, yan, in conveying messages to a greater number of audiences. Okay? To a greater number of it. Yun yung pinaka-intention niya. No? Yung makapag-send ka ng information sa mas malaking bilang ng audiences na imposible i-meet mo sila physically. Okay? So yun yun. Kaya tayo may mga TV ganyan para mas madali nang ma-reach out yung mga tao sa buong bansa. Okay po? So that ends our lesson for our first video of this study chunk installment, no, about speech context. Kung di ako nagkakamali, isang video na naman, isang ano na naman ito, no? Tama ba? Ay hindi, iba-iba na tayong lesson. So praise God, no? Iba-iba na tayo ng lesson. Ayan, so hindi na tayo isang lesson na lang. So this is lesson number 2, part 1 ng ating lesson number 2 about speech context. Ayan, so I am Sir Fercie. Thank you for listening to me. No, I will be seeing you in our next video, next study chunk video natin. Maraming salamat po. Goodbye and God bless.